Alright, Big Strongs, welcome back to another workout. This is going to be back day, pull B on our 6-day push-pull leg split on the road to recovery. Warm-up set here starting out nice and light, 95 pounds. Just kind of feeling it. I'm going with Snatch grip. I always go with Snatch grip. The program I'm on actually differentiates between standard and Snatch grip, but I always just do Snatch grip. I don't like standard. So yeah, just getting into it. Like the tech said at the beginning, just remember to like and subscribe. Helps out. Don't get me wrong, I'll keep working out, but I'd like to have you guys along for the ride. So here I just kind of let, starting on this workout, with these push-pull leg splits, I'm really going to start trying to push the weight, which is not going to be impressive weight, but I am going to start trying to get the weight up on these last 9 or so workouts before I go into an actual strength training program. Reason for that is, like I said, everything's felt good so far. I just want to hit that strength program with a little bit better idea of where my actual max is. I'm not going to take a day and do actual 1-rep maxes. I don't want to do that. If anything, I might take a day and do up to 3-rep max or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, up in the weights right now will give me an idea kind of where I am on my strength. So here you're getting to, as the weight goes up, you'll kind of get to see my setup for deadlift. I'm not a phenomenal deadlifter, but I really try to concentrate on keeping that back in a neutral position. And you'll see as the weight gets heavier, I'll sink my hips in a little bit more and get the quads more involved in that initial lift off the ground. Yeah, there's a hole on the platform there right by my left foot. Somebody, I guess, dropped weight or something. It's, people don't take care of equipment at the gym. So going above a plate for the first time in a while. So we got 155 on the bar here. That's the most I've squatted in 2 years. So, but like I said, today we'll just keep driving the weight up, see where we can get to. While you'll see the reps starting to trend down. I think my very last set's either 3 or 5 reps. But that's the whole idea, is like, taking the weight up, not to where I can comfortably lift it, but to where I feel I can safely lift it. Because you always want to push yourself, but with a nice level of discomfort from working out, and then being able to safely lift the weight without getting hurt. Remembering that in my right leg I had that nasty hamstring injury probably a year and a half ago, something like that, maybe even less. And I can still feel where I was injured. It doesn't hurt, but I can feel where it was. Uh-oh. Got a plate and 310s on each side. So what was this, 195, I guess? So you'll notice that my feet start creeping out towards my hands as the weight gets heavier, and then my butt will start to sink lower on the initial lift off. But again, always keeping that back in a neutral position, trying to keep the neck in alignment with the back, kind of a neutral position for your head and neck. And then string is pulling on your tailbone, pulling your hips straight back. And so you just kind of bend your knees and keep your back in neutral position and let your hips go straight back. At least that's how I do it. It's probably wrong, but I've never really been hurt deadlifting, so I'll stick with it. And like I said, as the weight gets heavier, your lift will naturally shift to, or at least for me, it kind of naturally shifts. I think here you'll see my hips sink in. See my back flatten out. Yep, hips kind of sinking a little bit lower. Do that shoulder roll back. I mean, it's kind of just for me. I'm not sure that it's actual requirement for a deadlift. But then again, we're working out, so who cares? But you can see how that bar is traveling right up and down my shins. I'm probably half an inch to an inch away from my shins on the up and down. Really try to trace that path back down to the ground that I came up with. I believe this will be the heaviest set So we got 125, 140 or 245 on the bar. That's the heaviest in the last 2 years that I've lifted. And it actually felt good. Felt good. I think I do 3 or 4 reps here. Yeah. But I felt that was good enough. It's like, okay, now we're on to Barbell Rows. I don't know if I understand in the programming having Barbell Rows follow right behind Snatch Grip Deadlifts. I was tempted to break out the straps here for my hands because I didn't want my hand tiredness to be a limiting factor, but the weight felt good. Like this is on 95 pounds. It felt nice and light. I wasn't too worried about it. So just throwing on 10s. It would be 115. I always like to do the deadlift up to the top hang position and then come back down into my rowing position. I just feel like my back's in a better place because I can get up, get my back in really neutral position, and come back down to the rowing position. This isn't really a T row, and it's not really, I'm not doing that curl type row that goes to your belly button. Somewhere in between, you know, hitting my mid lats. Again, up to the top hang position. Sink back down right below the knees, midway down the shin. And row from there. I'm kind of coming up to my solar plexus, maybe a little under my solar plexus. And you'll see how I lift my toes up. That's just kind of, I don't know, helps me keep my balance, I guess. So this is a 15 that I threw in here, not a 10. So it was a little 30-pound jump there. Still felt pretty good. Started to feel heavy here, though. I could tell it. You can see a little bit more body English. And my feet, my toes are coming off the ground more. That's just an indication that it's feeling a little bit heavier. My buddy, the old man, had to get to his workout station over there. Again, when you're in the gym, somebody walks in front of the camera, who gives a shit? You know, don't worry about that stuff. Alright, I believe this is the heaviest set of the day. I think I got, I don't know, 4 or 5, was 185, 190, whatever. But it did feel pretty good. No trouble from the shoulder. Back felt good. Hips felt good. Didn't feel any weird stretching in the hamstring. Felt pretty good. So deadlifts and barbell rows felt good. This is the hammer strength back and chest machine. On the other side is the incline press. It just acts like a, what do you call it, a seesaw kind of thing. But this is good because it's unilateral. You can kind of focus one hand at a time here, hitting those lats. I adjusted the seat all the way up so that bar will be coming kind of as low on my body as I can get it. Help me hit the low mid lats. I figured the barbell curls just hit mid lats, mid back, that sort of thing, the way I was lifting. And then we already got low back for sure and hips and all that through the deadlift. So this is kind of working up the lat. Hit the bottom of the lat. Mid lat. I normally don't do it one side at a time like this unilaterally, but I wanted to try it. Generally, if you're going to hit one arm lats like this, you'll kind of face your body away from the hand that's pulling, and then let that elbow and forearm track down to the way in line with the lat. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out the position here. You'll see from each set to the next, there's a little bit of variation. I'm kind of looking for that nice pocket. You know, that nice groove where I can really feel the muscle. First set was 45 on each side, then I added a 25, so all the other sets will be a 45 and a 25 on each side. And then, like I said, you know, like the rows is kind of an explosive movement. Deadlift can be if you make it. These, you see, I'm trying to keep them under control, really stretch out on the eccentric portion of the lift. Then always come down with a little bit of speed. And if you ain't making stupid faces, it don't count. And again, I can tell you, in the workout, I wasn't quite satisfied with the feeling I was getting in my lats. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could feel it. But I wasn't really getting that whole lat burning like I wanted to. So I think on this set, after I'm doing it one-handed, I just go back and hit another couple of reps with both hands at the same time. It felt pretty good. Okay, that was weird. Now we're back. So I know you can't see it, but this is a different voiceover recording from here going forward. Everything went haywire. Everything started lagging. I couldn't see. So like I said, I wasn't satisfied with the burn or feeling I was getting, so I hit a couple of two-handed sets here at the end of this. Yeah, I've been having some trouble with this video today. For some reason, my phone recorded in some sort of weird aspect ratio, so I've been trying to fix it with the editor, and every time I go back and watch it, something's different. Yeah, here goes the two-hand set. So I just went straight into it, kind of like a burnout set. Just really wanted to get some blood flowing through the old lats. I do like this machine, though. I normally use it two-handed like this. You can change where you're hitting on your back by raising and lowering the seat. All right, rows. I just like this row machine. I don't know why. For some reason, it seems like my right shoulder is tight or something. Maybe it seems like my right shoulder's above my left shoulder. Maybe it's the way the phone's mounted on the little tripod. But anyway, starting out a little bit lighter. I'm pretty well warmed up, but still, just kind of starting out lighter. And again, just with how we've been doing these workouts, I'm trying to work the weight up as high as I can and still get some good sets in. I think top the last 3 sets I think are at 180. But I take that back. The third from the last, second to the last are at 180. And I think I dropped down to 170 for the very last set. It was just felt a little heavy. Form was starting to break down. But all in all, I felt really good on the workout today. Nothing was really hurting or sharp pains. Just good workout burn. Obviously got some sweat going. That's one thing with deadlifts. If I'm doing deadlifts for weight, I start sweating like a son of a bitch. Trying to build a champion. So again, feeling good. Just keeping the form good, getting some more reps on that mid back, upper back. And we did add a variation on a shrug at the very end. We'll look at that at the very end. Here, just curls. I'm not a big fan of dumbbell curls, but just to change it up, had a different angle, different feel on the curls. Started out at 20, nice and light, and worked my way up. I tend to prefer either just a preacher curl machine that I use for one-hand curls, or really cable curls are probably my 2 favorite. Easy bar is nice, even though everybody makes fun of it. I like the easy bar as well. Not much to say on curls. Like I said, I'm just trying to twist on the way up, I'm just, when somebody says make a muscle, kind of that motion. You notice I'm not going all the way down. It tends to bother my elbow if I fully extend. And then also try not to go all the way up, because you'll reach that point where you don't feel the weight anymore, just because of gravity. Your forearm is vertical, so that weight's no longer going to your bicep. So just before that, I try to back off. A lot of times you'll see me do the first rep all the way up just to kind of find that space, and then from there I don't go all the way up. All these reps must count because I'm making a funny face. £40. I think this is the last set. I was actually getting ready to pack it up after this set, but I forgot I wanted to do that new shrug. And on the shrugs, you'll see when we get there that I've blocked out some folks. There were a couple of women there, and normally any kind of background incidental folks, I don't bother to block them out or anything. But since these ladies were right in frame with me, in case any questions are asked, they try to keep the camera right on me. But they were in there, so I blocked them out. You'll see it. I put some stickers on them. Yeah, there you go. So there's a person behind there. You can see her hand sticking out. So this is the shrug. It's called a Kelso Shrug, and basically it's kind of the beginning motion of a row. So you can see I'm not bending my elbows. I'm adding a little back to it, a little back English, and just letting my shoulders roll forward with the cable. And then basically just flexing back and trying to bring my shoulder blades together. Felt good. I started out really light, maybe 25, 30 pounds. And then I think by the time I got done, my last set was up at about 145, 150. And it felt good. I just wasn't accustomed to the motion as far as like not doing a full row. But kind of once I got in the groove, it seems like it's something I'll add to my routine. Supposedly it's supposed to be really good for hitting those lower traps coming down between the shoulders. And then also your rhomboids kind of underneath your shoulder blades. So just really letting my scapula open up as much as I can, letting my hands go with the cable. I kept getting overheated. You know, it wasn't really hot in the gym. I guess I was just having a good workout. So trust me, I'm not pulling my shirt off to show off by any means with my fat self. Look at those love handles. It's like a muffin overflowing. Any case, but yeah, just letting the arms drift forward, rolling the shoulders forward, opening up those shoulder blades, and then kind of bringing everything back like the beginning of a row, and then just squeeze and hold for a second. And that's the workout, guys. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next workout, Road to Recovery. Stay strong.